Divorce is complicated, and that's why I'm doing this unboxing divorce series to help you understand a little bit more how it works and what's involved. Hey, I'm Catherine Miller. I've been a divorce attorney in New York City, New York State for over 30 years. And the next thing on my list of unboxing issues is what we call equitable distribution. Really, that's just a division of assets and liabilities, but it's a little bit more complicated than it might seem at first. Of course, what we have to figure out is everything that you have, what it's worth, and everything that you owe, and divide that up. Well, there's a couple of things to that. One is, what is it that gets divided up? We're dividing up marital assets. And marital assets, and it doesn't matter what title they're in. It doesn't matter if it's in your name alone or both of your names or your spouse's names. It's just everything that you got during your marriage by virtue of your own efforts. You worked, you got paid, you created this asset, whether or not it's savings or your house or real estate, retirement. All of that stuff is included in the marital estate. If you received it, and this is in New York, so if you're in a different state, you really need to check out your own state's laws about this because it varies from state to state. But in New York, if you got an inheritance or you got a gift from somebody who wasn't your spouse, that's not marital. That means it's not subject to equitable distribution in a divorce unless you've done something to make it marital, which isn't that hard to do. So if you got a personal injury recovery for pain and suffering, that is also not included in the assets that are going to be divided. Another thing we have to at is dividing debt. If you have credit card debt, a mortgage, of course, would reduce the equity that's going to be divided in any real estate. Other things like that, we also need to consider. And then what's equitable? A lot of times people think, well, that's just equal, right? But that's not true. There are about 1 million cases in New York that say equitable does not mean equal, but it usually does. It's complicated, and you should really talk about your situation with a lawyer to talk about exactly what's going on in your own life. If this is interesting and you think that you've got more questions, I'd like you to do two things. One, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can listen to my other videos, and of course, also subscribe to my podcast, Divorce Dialogues, wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening.